joined on the line by senior portfolio strategist at State Street Global Advisors in their Abu Dhabi office, Mehvish Ayub. Morning, Mehvish.
Morning.
So, why is my logic not working out here? Why is the old adage that markets hate uncertainty not holding up? Because the US markets are gangbusters at the moment.
Yeah, I think to some degree there is an element of a relief rally. Let's not forget, just about a week ago, markets also tanked in anticipation of the election. So this is, to some degree, a relief rally that someone is emerging as a leader. In addition to that, the market is also repricing its expectations about the possibility of a fiscal package. So this is somewhat a response to how things are panning out. Even though no one is really calling the presidency, certainly there's an expectation that the Senate will be Republican. And now what this means going forward is the kind of widespread regulatory burden that was expected if you had a Democratic sweep will potentially no longer materialize. And that is positive for stocks in the medium term, particularly tech stocks, which is why, as you alluded to, the Nasdaq was up over 4% yesterday.
That's interesting, because I know Brandy has spoken about this quite widely. The fact that a Biden administration, if it also had the Senate, would possibly lead a big crackdown on the giants like the Amazons, the Googles, and the Facebooks of this world. But you say with a red Senate, that's probably not going to happen. Mehvish, what about one of the other things that could potentially hurt stocks, which is increasing corporate taxes? We know one of the centerpieces of the Trump administration's economic policy was to slash corporate profit tax in the United States from nearly 40% to just above 20%. Is there any sense that a Biden administration might put those taxes back up to near 40%?
So again, because of the red Senate, as you described, it is unlikely. It's difficult to reverse that decision. Even if there was some way for that to go ahead, it would take some time. We already know from when President Trump tried to reverse President Obama's healthcare reforms, it took quite some time. In fact, I believe it's still trying to go through. So this is just the political system. A, it takes time, and B, again, because of a red Senate, it is possible that it may not materialize.
So as a portfolio strategist, and that's your job title, we don't know if we're going to get a Trump administration or a Biden administration in the next couple of days. Bloomberg says we're going to get a Biden administration. The other TV networks are sitting on the fence. Does it make any difference? Do you have two strategies, Mehvish, a Biden strategy and a Trump strategy, or is it just an investment strategy?
I think it's an investment strategy that is characterized by understanding what's going on and essentially managing your risks. So I think the key point here is once this event risk is over, we still have the looming COVID pandemic. And that is, and really the key point here is, why is there so much uncertainty going into the US election? Why is this US election different to what we've seen before? It is because of COVID. And the outcome of the election is very much going to determine what kind of government support we're going to get. And why is that government support so important? Because of the moral and economic consequences of COVID. And so ultimately, it really is, we're faced with considerable uncertainty, not just because of the election and not just because the incumbent is already looking to contest the outcome, but also because once it's over, we still have COVID to manage. And so the way we look at it is how do we protect portfolios from that uncertainty? You said right at the beginning that markets hate uncertainty, and that's absolutely true. And so if we expect that over the short to medium term, how do we manage it?
Okay, so I'm going to ask you to answer your own question as a strategist. Not just within the United States, what do we buy, but if you look globally at a portfolio, and let's stay with stocks for the time being, let's stay with equities. Are you short a developed market like the United States or long? What about emerging markets, Asia versus Africa, these kind of sort of bigger picture strategic decisions? Where does State Street stand at the moment?
So So currently, what I would say is overall, from a portfolio perspective, you need to have adequate diversification. So you definitely don't want all of your eggs in one basket. And we can see that year to date, huge divergence between different regions and how the equity markets have performed. So certainly there needs to be diversification across regions. I think also, one can consider adding different types of equity strategies within the portfolio. So, for example, if you're faced with uncertainty, adding lower volatility equities into your portfolio will help dampen the impact if you have another significant downturn as we experienced earlier this year. I know you said kind of sticking to equity, but again, from a total portfolio perspective, there are additional hedges that you can include, which are non-equity, such as gold and longer dated bonds.
Okay. Mehvish, great talking to you. Appreciate your time today.